Okay, looks like we're live. Hey, folks, how's everybody doing on this Tuesday? Hope you're having a great week so far. Today we've got Johnny Beane in the house. Hey, Johnny, how's it going?
Hey, I'm good. How are you doing, man?
Not too bad, not too bad. First week back at work, so as good as can be. You know,
Man,
it's always shitty going back to work after holidays. It doesn't matter how many holidays you have, man. It's never enough.
every day's a holiday.
Yeah, every day. Yeah, every day's out. Sure. So I got the Johnny Bean hat on today, so it's a challenge to everybody in the chat to figure out who's Johnny and who's the hack. So
Oh
I'll,
no. Now
I'll
that
leave.
song is stuck in my head. Who's Johnny?
Oh, that's right.
Remember that? Who's El DeBarge? Oh
All right.
man.
So let me just before we get going here, let me just welcome. We got a lot of people that popped in here early, so let me just say hello to everyone. We got Dave R's Guitars is in the house, and folks, Dave R's Guitar and Brian Stewart are doing a brand new show. It is going to be debuted tomorrow night, 6 p.m. Pacific and 9 p.m. Eastern. Live wire. Check that show out. It's going to be awesome. We got Phil Mosley in the house. Mitch Heyman is here. Hey, buddy. Fruitcake Tony, nice to see you. Phil Mosley Music. I Rock the Blues. How are you, man? Charles Green is here. Lefty Mike, nice to see you all. Thank you all so much for popping in. Really appreciate it. Gary Tholander is here. You guys rock. Joe Hervey, 84, man. How are you? Shulman is here. Ben Coombs, how's it going? Dry Heat. Michael Bishop, nice to see you folks. Hey, Bill Frost. Charles Green, if I haven't said hello. Bam Ozzy is here. Nice to see you. I'm probably going to repeat names. I always do. And there's the first jump of the chat. Does that happen to you, man? We're just like jumps on you?
Oh yeah. Oh
Oh,
yeah.
it's crazy. So, like, yeah. So I went, now I just jumped. So let's see. I'm probably going to start missing people now. BC Rich, 581. Rick Hefner, Six String Brian. How's it going? Some Dave Dude. How are you? Alex Radford is here. Brad Miller is here. Spencer Cron. Wow. JJ Collins, Gene Schmidt. Thanks, guys. Thomas Santiago, Todd Flowers, JJ Collins. I'm probably repeating names. Charlie S is here. All right, and I'm at the bottom. So welcome everybody. Hope hope everyone is having. And there's my buddy Brian Stewart. Hope everyone is having a. And there's Denny Allen. Hope you all are having a great Tuesday. We got 44 people in here already. You guys rock, man. You guys absolutely rock. Wolverella, there's Wolverella. So Johnny, what's going on, man? What's new and exciting?
Oh man. Everything.
Uh-oh.
All of it. It's always exciting. It's always new, you know?
So how's the so
Oh
folks,
my
if you don't
gosh.
know, Johnny's got a second channel. I've got the cards to Johnny's original and his second channel up there. So if you're not subscribed to Johnny's second channel, you should. Very cool. So how's that going for you? And what was the reasoning for doing that? Why did you want to start a second channel?
Well, the truth is I've always had like 3 channels,
Right.
you know, like ever since, you know, the very beginning of time, you know. But I've never used them.
Right.
I've just always used just one, and I've always just put, you know, everything on one channel. But I did the math, and I looked, and it said I'd lost like 2,000 subscribers over the years,
Wow.
you know. So yeah, I was like, really, you know,
You lost more than I ever had.
I lost more than yeah. Well, and so I kind of thought, well, maybe that's probably because you know I like to vlog as well.
Right.
You know, I like to just do random videos because if you go back, you know, I've had my channel since 2006,
Wow.
I
Yeah.
guess. So I've got all different kinds of stuff, you know, like the talking guitars and stuff that we do every, you know, Tuesday and Friday and Saturday. That's really brand new, you know, even though it's been maybe 4 years or something, that's
Mm.
still very new compared to everything else I've done over the years. So I just kind of figured, well, you know, I've got this other channel sitting here. I might as well use it,
Yeah.
you know, and you know, the random stuff, the vlogging, you know, because I like to do like vlogs like every day, you
Right.
know, like yesterday you know, I
Yeah.
saw I was sitting there yapping to my phone yesterday, and you popped in.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's usually when I catch you is when you're doing those things.
Mm-hmm.
That's usually when I'm around.
Yeah, yeah. So I figured, why not do that stuff on the other channel, the burrito vlogs. That's right, Phil. Phil
The
Mosley.
burrito.
That's right. Yeah, I ate a burrito on stream. That's something I swore I would never do. See, I'm taking a lot of chances on the second channel now. That's something I didn't really you know. You never see me eating,
No.
because it's gross. It's weird. You never hear me swearing. But on the second channel, you'll see me eating, you'll hear me swearing. It's all excitement.
Pulling all the stops, save for the second channel.
I might take my clothes off, you never know.
Oh, dear Lord.
I might stand up. I just might stand up over there. So
Stand up in your car.
yeah, I am standing up in my car. Yeah. So that's really one of the well, there's several reasons for using another channel, but the main thing is just to do all the stuff I really can't do on the main channel, which I guess I could. I could, but I noticed, I'm losing more subscribers than gaining over there. So
Right, because they're expecting one thing and then they're seeing something else, right?
yeah, which I agree. I can understand it. But myself, if I subscribe to a channel, I'm there for the personality. I'm there for whoever that is,
Right.
and I don't care what they do. They can come out as a dressed up as a clown, or they can eat burritos. I mean, whatever it is they do on that channel, I'll watch just because it's them.
Right.
Like all the channels that I watch, that's what I do. I watch, all that stuff, everything they do, and it's all good. It's all fun.
Yeah. I think it's more like when people are, because what happens now a lot with YouTube is they're almost using it like Google, right? So I want to find out about guitars, right? So I'm going to go to Johnny's channel. I'm going to learn all about, Van Halen and the guitars and all that sort of thing. And oh, wait a minute, Johnny's eating a sandwich. So it's like,
Well,
I think that's probably what it is, right? So they want to see that specific. I know what you mean about the personality, but I think you're in the minority there. I think people probably just want to go in there to see a specific type of content, right?
yeah, and nine out of 10 people won't even subscribe to you. They'll just watch your videos.
Oh, I know. Yeah. Yeah.
And
What are your on your analytics there? What's your percentage of subscriptions to?
I think I'm about half.
Okay.
I think half people are subscribed that watch, and half people that aren't watch.
Right.
And not that it's all about subscribers, because for me, it never has been.
Right.
It's never been about subscribe. Please subscribe to me. It's never been like that. It's just been, I just like to do whatever I do. And if people dig it, then it's cool. And luckily, I guess, enough people over the years have been digging, whatever it is I've been doing.
Yeah. Well, that's testament to what you're saying, right? Like a lot of people are non-subscribers, so they're probably looking for just that specific content, right?
Yeah, well, I would say most people that watch YouTube don't have accounts. They're not logged in.
Oh, yeah, okay, that too, yeah.
So most, I would say, I would, I don't know. I'm sure there are actual numbers behind this, but just from my thinking, I would think, 90% of people that search YouTube aren't logged in.
Right.
Or that watch. They might favorite your channel and watch whatever. But they might not be subscribed. They don't click the bell, all that stuff.
Yeah, the bell clicks is yeah. That's
there's actually good and bad behind that.
Oh yeah.
You can actually lose. That's probably what happened. I started telling people to click the bell, and that's when everybody left.
Right.
Because there's a lot of people where they might not log in, like I was saying, and they might log in, and all of a sudden here's all this stuff, and they're like, oh, what's all this? And so they unsubscribe because it's just too much, especially if you do videos every day.
Right.
If that makes any kind of sense. I don't know.
Yeah, it's overwhelming, I guess, right?
For some people, it can be. Yeah.
I just noticed we got Quentin in the chat. So whenever Quentin pops in the chat, I do a Quentin shout out. So I don't know if you're familiar, but I usually count down 3, 2, 1, and then we yell Quentin into the mic. Are you okay doing that? You cool doing that?
Sure.
All right.
I'll just
Okay.
take my headphones off.
Yeah, it's gonna get very loud.
So you say Quentin?
Just yell Quentin.
Quentin.
It's literally a shout out.
Okay, I've done those. I've given him shout outs, but I actually say Quentin shout out.
Okay, no, I actually yell Quentin.
Okay.
True
All
shout.
right.
Okay, here we go. Ready? Count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Quentin!
Mm.
There you go. That's turned into like a tradition here on the shows. There you
Awesome.
go. Quentin with applause.
Awesome. Quentin, everybody.
There you go. Well, a whole whack of new people popped in here, so I'm just scrolling down here. Headstock Harem is here. Mute that bozo. Islander Winder. Charles Green.
Oh, God. Oh.
That's my dog flipping out.
A little late. Was she saying Quentin?
That's that's Pepper screaming her head off. Loogie Flex is here. David Ennis, how's it going?
I know some of these names. David Ennis.
Yeah,
David Ennis.
You probably know everyone that's in here, I would imagine.
I recognize a few people.
Oh, you probably know them all, I would think. Yeah. So here's a question. Mark Dillon is here. Krellbar is here. Lars Guitar. Yeah, folks, if you've got questions for myself or for Johnny, please pop them in the chat. Glenn James has a question. Hey, Guitar Hack, what's the difference between an R7 and an R9? Well, an R7 is a 57 Les Paul custom shop, and an R9 is a 59. As far as specs on them, the R7, I know the R9 has, I think it's the R6 that has the P90s. I think the R7, actually, Dave Vars Guitar could probably answer this, but I think the R7 still had has the custom buckers in it. Yeah. So yeah, folks, if you've got questions for myself or for Johnny, feel free to pop in. Are you going to do the what's that, Veda in
the Darth Veda?
The Darth Veda? You going to go for that in August? Well, you kind of do it anyway, don't you?
Yeah, that's one of the reasons, for doing the second channel, is to do all that stuff over there instead.
Right.
Because I know for a fact, one of the months that I did the vlog challenge, I lost about 30 people.
Right.
I do know that. I looked in the analytics, and it's like, where'd everybody go? Everybody split.
Yeah. No, it's a good idea. I mean, I pretty much everything I do is still kind of in the same vein, so I think it's still guitar music related. But if I started doing the sort of personality, sort of personal vlogging thing, I could see why you'd want to do something like that. That makes total sense, actually. Gary Holt is here. Waleed is here. Yeah. So folks probably don't know this, but last couple of weeks we've been trying to find a time to get together and chat. And you wanted to ask me a few things you were saying to me. And I thought wasn't there talking about me actually going on your show? Because you said, yeah, me? You were saying.
I thought you were talking to the chat.
No, I'm talking to you, man.
Yeah, man. Anytime. We just got to figure,
Because I think you were asking me, you wanted me to talk to you about, probably, was it Namm you wanted to ask me about?
Yeah, the Namm. How was the Namm stuff?
The Namm experience for me, it was like the best way to me and Namm was like, have you ever seen the original Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory?
No.
Okay. It's
I know
like,
I know who Veruca Salt is though. It's one of my favorite
okay,
bands.
Veruca Salt. Yeah, yeah, it's one of the characters. Yeah, I was like, basically, I was just like a kid in a candy store, really.
Mm-hmm.
I was like 10 at Namm. I was just losing my mind, like, being an outsider, kind of going in there and seeing all that stuff, and it was just like it just it really blew my mind, the whole experience, and all the people I met and everything like that. That was really the gist of it. I mean, the gear was almost secondary. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
really. I mean, it was just kind of the experience of the whole thing. That was sort of what really blew me away. I mean, I think I got like 20 Namm videos or something ridiculous like this.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what it's always been about to me is just meeting people, face to face, like the people that you've talked to online for, however long or whatever. Because
Yeah,
when I go, yeah, I stop at the EVH booth and I turn around and somebody's like tapping me on the shoulder saying, "Hey, Johnny," and
yeah,
it's
yeah,
it's
yeah.
cool. It's cool meeting, and that's a place where people that watch these shows, that's where you run into a lot of them,
Right, right.
you know.
Yeah, I was hanging out with, for the most part, I was hanging out with Six String Brian, which is Brian Cote, and Brian
Hmm.
Stewart. We were like joined at the hip pretty much the whole time we were
Hmm.
there. So that
Were
was
you in
really
were
cool.
you in the middle?
Yeah,
A Brian on each side?
yeah, kind of was flanked by Brian's.
Oh, it was a guitar hack Brian sandwich.
Kind of, yeah. Quinn James is saying that you started this the whole hammered thing. I don't know. Quinn was putting up these videos where he was slowing it down and making everybody sound like they were hammered. So
Oh no, that's you?
he
Yeah.
said you're responsible for that.
Yeah, well, I accidentally told people that they could do it. That, it's a feature you can actually do, and yeah, it's pretty funny.
Yeah,
It's
he went pretty nuts on that. He had videos on just about everybody at half speed or whatever it was. So Six String Brian wants an R6, and his birthday's only 2 weeks away. Just saying. Just
hack
going down here.
hack was the meat. Brian Stewart says hack was the meat in
Oh,
the in the in
all the connotations that can come from that statement. My God.
the Brian sandwich.
Yeah, this is my Mark Dillon saying, "Yeah, this is my brother Brian and my other brother Brian." Hey, there's Mountain Man music. Yeah. So what are you what are you up to these days, Johnny? Are you still a while back you were doing a fair bit of recording? Are you still doing that, or are you what do you got
Yeah.
on the
Hmm.
musical landscape going right now?
Oh man, I've been doing. I just did a guitar solo for somebody's track last week, last Thursday,
Hmm.
I guess. Went into some guy's studio somewhere and threw down some licks. You know,
Oh, that's
first like the first take. They were like, "Man, that's it, it's done."
nice.
And I was the one that said, "Hey, can I redo at least one note?" That first note kind of sucked. Can I at least put some more vibrato in that, because I'd never heard the song before. It was
Right.
just like I walked in, they pushed play, and they pointed, and that's what it was like.
Wow. Wow.
So
Was that like at a home studio thing, or was that in a
yeah,
studio
yeah,
studio?
yeah. It was some guy's home studio up in Walnut Creek,
Yeah.
California, and it was cool. It was cool. Made a quick $100, you know,
Oh, there you go.
of just 20 seconds of playing.
20 seconds. Yeah, that's a pretty good rate. What
Yeah.
when you do something like that, like, are you how's it work gear wise? Are you just like taking a guitar with you and plugging right into the board? Are they using onboard effects? Like how's that go? Or is there amps there? Like how's that work?
There was kind of everything there,
Hmm.
and you kind of, even though somebody tells me, okay, you're going to go to a studio, you have to be prepared either way. You got to take your own gear, or take, actually what I took was the guitar was, I've got a Hamer Phantom,
Right.
which is in the rack somewhere. It's right there. There it is.
Yeah, I think you showed that one actually the last time you were on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I took that one because it had a whammy bar on it. It had a humbucker and a whammy bar, a wiggle stick.
Right.
And those are two things I knew I needed, for the sound of the track. I hadn't heard the track, but the guy was saying it's like a rock garage type of tune.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm like, okay, I need a humbucker, I need, some sort of whammy. And I don't like to use Floyd Roses for recording because even though you can go out of tune quicker,
Right.
it takes a longer time to tune up. And if you break a string, you're out.
That's the thing, yes, yeah.
So I like to use just non-locking tremolos and just whatever. But as far as the amp wise, I took the Yamaha. What's it called? The TX. What's it called, you guys?
THU?
The 10.
Yeah, it's the okay. So you're not playing through a speaker. You're running out into the
THR. I keep having to look at the box. Yeah, TH. There we go. Dave's R. Awesome. Thank you.
THR 10X. There you go.
Yeah. Well, the 10. It wasn't the X. It was just the 10.
Right.
That was a birthday gift from our good friend Michael Smith. Thank you again, Michael. Thank you. So I took the amp with me, and then when I walked in the door, the guy's like, "I know what that is. I have one too," and he had one sitting there.
Oh wow.
But actually, I ended up plugging in through a Boss Dr. Rhythm. Actually, like an old like 80s deal, and was just plugged directly in, and it was quick. It was quick. Like I said, I plugged in, okay, yeah, that sounds good. Hit play, solo right here. And then that's when I hit the first note. I didn't know where I was going to go. Like I said, it was all one pass. So I hit the first note and I'm like, okay. And then I did it and then stop. They're both like, awesome. I'm like, well, can I redo that first note? Because the first note, it was obvious. There wasn't any power or attack behind that first note.
Right.
Not that it was out of tune. Actually, what I asked the guy to do was to move the note over. I'm like, can you splice, after that note and nudge it? I'm backwards on here, but nudge it, further away.
So you get tail on it.
So you get that note. So then you get the emphasis on that note, and then the lick or whatever it was.
Right.
And then the guy's like, why don't you just punch in? So I punched in, did some crazy note with this awesome vibrato, and then stopped it, and then the rest of the solo was there. And I'll play it for you guys once I get the track.
Yeah.
Because the guy he wants me to promote it and stuff, and so when I get it, I'll play it for you guys. You guys would be like, that sucks, Johnny. That solo is horrible. You should have left that lousy first note in there, man. What's wrong with you?
That's crazy though. That
where's the tapping?
It's crazy that he didn't send you the track ahead of time and had you like kind of compose.
I asked him for it. I'm like, can you send me the track so at least what I know I'm going to do over it? And he's like, well, I'd have to get you a what was he calling it? I'd have to get you one of these things and blah 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 blah. And I'm like, dude, no, you upload stuff. I've got secret tracks all over the internet. Nobody can find.
Right.
You have stuff that's hidden that you can work on, and then you present it later on.
Yeah. And are you doing any original stuff? Are you working on anything original, or are you just going around and helping other folks out?
It's always been both. So it's been both. I'm always writing. I mean, if I pick up the guitar, I'll play, strum a few chords, and then I'll come up with some idea, and then I'll throw it down, save it, and then turn it into something later, or use it as a part of something, or it just becomes another one of my licks in my bag of tricks or whatever,
Right, right. When you like, are you when you do stuff like that? Is it like basically instrumental stuff, or you doing stuff like and hoping to get a vocal on later?
The original stuff,
Yeah.
some of it I do collab with a lot of singers, online. I've collabed with a lot of people, and we've done a lot of tracks. Some of the stuff other people have released, some of the stuff I've put out, you know. But as far as my own stuff, generally it's usually it's just instrumental stuff. And then down the line, if I form a band or do a recording with somebody like with a new member or like a previous band, you know, I still keep in touch with a lot of old band members,
Right.
and every so often, we'll write each other and, hey, you want to write a song? You want to do this or do that? And then I'll dig into that bag of licks and find something that's kind of appropriate for that singer,
Right,
and
right.
then kind of do like a rough idea of a song or something and just send it to them. And you know so there's a lot of that. But as far as writing, I'm never thinking there's vocals, although I leave room, so it's not like I'm not writing like nonstop guitar wankathon stuff. I mean, not that that's not my style. I mean, it kind of is, but kind of isn't. You
Hmm.
know. Um, I don't know. Do I like Van Halen? They're okay. It was, I've heard them a couple times.
Hey, Absolute Mayhem is in here. Hey, buddy. Nice to see you.
Hey, dude.
How's
Absolute
it
mayhem.
going?
Awesome dude, man. He's
Paul's
great.
Guitar Music 2 is here. Hey, there's R2R3. Hey, man.
Art,
Nice to see you, folks. If you've got questions for myself or Johnny is also in the chat, please tag us so we can catch you right away. So you're going to say something, Johnny?
I don't know. EJ. Hey, Janice. Yeah, I recognize all these people.
Yeah, of course you do. There's EJ. Hello, Janice. John Harden is here. Got here late. No worries. Just getting started here. So speaking of bands, are you jamming with anybody, or you doing any upcoming gigs, anything like that, Johnny?
Hmm. I can't just nod yes on here. I have to actually say something.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, yeah. I've got a gig coming up. Probably in like 2 or 3 weeks, something like that.
Like originals gig, cover gig.
It's covers. I think there's one original. Actually, it's that song I did that solo for.
Oh, okay.
It's the same group or the same singer. Although it seems to be all different musicians on, like, there's different musicians on the recording than there are that are playing the gig.
Hmm.
But yeah, so there's one original tune, and then it's like covers. It's like I think we're doing a White Snake. We're doing a White
Wow.
Snake song, and what else? Uh, some like ballad stuff, which got stuck in my head and won't get out. You know, I've had this song stuck in my head now for like 3 weeks.
Well, what song is that?
Oh, I can't
Like
even.
an 80s ballad?
I don't even know the name of it, but it's some song from the '70s, and it's a song that we're doing.
Oh, the 70s. All right.
But it's very catchy. It's a very catchy. I'll have to figure out what the name of it is, and
What's uh
um,
what's the what's the lineup
it
instrumentation wise?
it's vocalist. I think two different vocalists, I believe, and then bass, drums, and guitar.
Oh, okay.
And we've been rehearsing on Thursdays up in Walnut Creek, which is
Hmm.
like 2 hours away from me.
Oh
You know,
man,
so yeah, yeah. I travel for a lot of this stuff.
man, that's a
So
haul.
it's yeah, I guess,
If you're
but
doing that
it's
kind of driving, everybody it was me, I'd say, man, you better know your homework. Have your homework done.
Mhm.
Like, okay, how's that song go? Wait a minute, I just drove 2 hours and you don't know how that song goes? Come on.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I've done I was playing with this one band up in Sacramento, California. This is when I lived in Berkeley, California. If any of you guys know the Bay Area, you know, Sacramento was like, is it 2 hours away? It's like 2 hours, I think,
Mhm.
or something. And I got stuck in the worst traffic one time. Took me like 3 hours to get there.
Right.
And when I got to the rehearsal, they had already been rehearsing and also glug glug
Oh,
glug glug
right.
the vodka. These guys are into vodka, you know. And so I get there and they're all already ripped and crazy and stuff. And luckily, I was leaving my amplifier there. I had a 5150 212,
Right.
the PV at the time. This is back in 2005. It's a while ago. So luckily my amp was already there. And so I just pulled my amp, you know, out and plugged in, went through the songs and then got back in the car and went
And
back,
left.
you know, take the 2 hour trip back home.
Oh man. And this gig, so where's this gig? Is it far away as well?
Yeah, it's about 2 hours.
Holy shit, man.
It's a couple hours away. And then they have like an after party at this very famous hotel in Oakland, California afterwards.
Nice.
But I'm probably not gonna make that. Well, I don't know. I mean, maybe if we pack up and maybe head over there just to check it out and then just split from there because I'll have a 2 hour drive home after that.
Yeah, yeah.
You know.
Man, I bitch about, I mean, I play a lot of bar gigs and I bitch about the hour drive back.
Oh, an hour drive is nothing to me.
Man, that's,
Oh, it's an hour? Oh, no big deal.
yeah.
An
Well,
hour is nothing, you know, but 2 hours, yeah, but it depends on you know on what's going on.
yeah. Well,
That's right.
it's,
That's right, Charles. Yeah, when you live in California, everything is a couple hours away, even if it's not because of traffic. You know, down in Los Angeles, you know, you have to leave at least 2 hours to get somewhere that's in half an hour.
oh, Ivan Carter's going. See, Ivan.
Bye, Ivan.
Thanks for popping in, buddy. Appreciate it. And there's Amanda. How are you? Cool,
Hey,
cool.
Amanda.
Folks, if you've got questions for Johnny or myself, please tag us so I can see you easily. Much appreciated. Yeah. No, it's just after doing a 3 hour gig and wrapping up at like 1:32 in the morning, and then I just that 1 hour drive to get home just kills me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I can't imagine 2 hours, man. I sometimes we well in I'm in Ontario, Canada, and sometimes we play a show up in Barrie, which is like kind of an hour and a half.
Mm-hmm. I've heard of Barry.
Yeah, yeah,
I've heard of that place. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And you know, there's a few bars up there that we play. One of them we're no longer going back just for that reason. It's just too far. You know, because if you're not, you know, if it's not a good gig and then you'd slap another hour and a half drive on top of the fact that it's not a good gig, it's like, you know what, I don't want to come back here. That's not worth it. You know, but if it's a
It,
good gig and it's, yeah, okay, we'll do the hour and a half drive or whatever it is. You know, but
yeah. Yeah, like if you know the venue. What's I mean the worst thing is showing up to a venue you've never been to. And I actually I was in this band about 10 11 years ago and we did a tour. We were based in Hollywood. We were
mhm,
based half of us was in Hollywood, half of us was in Bay Area here.
right.
And so we left for this tour. We left from Hollywood and we drove to Vegas. And
Wow.
we had a show in Vegas and we showed up to the venue. I know my lighting is getting really weird all of a sudden. We show up to the venue and the promoter or the bartender, whatever they are, they didn't promote the show at all.
Oh shit.
So we get there, there's two other bands there, and that's it. It's just the bands that show up. There's no people, nothing. And we came from Hollywood for that, you know.
Man.
So we ended up playing the place, but we considered it just a rehearsal. But I remember playing, there's certain shows like that you remember, and you remember exactly being on that stage, and there's nobody there.
Yeah, it's really hard to keep your enthusiasm.
Actually, I remember there was another tour that we did. We played up in Eugene, Oregon. We
Mhm.
played this place called Wow Hall. It was like this huge hall, I guess.
Right.
And same kind of deal. We show up and there's nobody there. So we just consider it a rehearsal, but we're playing on this huge freaking stage in this huge hall. Even though
Right.
nobody's there, it was still cool just because,
Just because it's a nice, yeah.
if
Because
you've
it's a
ever played like a huge hall,
yeah.
you get that natural especially if nobody's there, you get that reverb, and it's awesome.
Nobody's there to absorb the sound. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember that. I remember that show. There's certain
Yeah.
shows you remember, but that's what it's like. That's what touring can be. One night you're playing this amazing venue, amazing stage in front of probably well, I remember there's one show we did in Chicago. There had to be at least 1,000 people there. And
Nice.
we opened up for this major band out of Mexico. What were they called? Motel, I think is what they were called. So, one night you play this huge, biggest stage you've ever played in your life, and then the next night you play a bar in front of nobody, and that's how it is. But
Yeah.
you have to love it. You have to love every night. You have to put the same you have to have the enthusiasm. Is that it?
Yeah. Well, yeah. And like I was saying, that it's really hard to do that when there is no one in the bar. Like, I mean, I play in the bar. So like if you're playing a bar in a slow night and, you play one set and there's like half a dozen people or, a dozen people in the whole place. And then you look at your watch and you go, man, I'm here for another 3.5 hours. Hopefully it'll fill up to like 20 people.
And they got the TV set on, and they're all
Oh
sitting at the
yeah.
bar watching the TV.
Yeah.
And
I, some,
and they tell you guys, can you guys turn down because we're trying to watch this
that, you know what, that,
Miss USA,
yeah, yeah. And that absolutely drives me nuts. Like I get that all the time. I mean, I played a bar about 2 weeks ago, and actually, this bar had a really big stage. Like they were set up for bands, right? So they had the big stage, they had the house PA, they had the nice lights and all that kind of stuff. And so you figure, okay, well, the bar's set up for the band, so which a lot of bars aren't. So you figure you're gonna get there and you're gonna play and this and that, and and right off the bat, first thing you hear is one of the waitresses comes over and says, "You guys are too loud." I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
really? Really?
Mm-hmm.
And then when we're off the stage, they'll have like music playing on the PA system, which is louder than us.
Yeah. Yep.
And I'm like, you guys realize that place is designed for bars, for bands. This isn't like, it should not be unexpected, right? You're part of your business on the weekend, and you invested all this money is to have live bands. You should be able to hear them.
Mm-hmm.
Because the thing is, the drums, you got to at least be able to hear yourself over the freaking drums, man. It's I
Mm-hmm.
don't know. I just scratch my head sometimes. And when they got all the big screens and there's nobody in the place, the hardest thing is just not to stand there and just watch television as they're playing.
Yeah, especially if it's like a sports bar.
Yeah, you're watching the game. It's like, you're
Yeah.
playing and you're looking at at the game. Yeah, it's pretty nasty. So Quentin James is saying we played a Friday and Saturday for $1,600 to one bartender, one waitress, and the club closed 2 months later. Yeah. Yeah, that
Wow.
happens. That happens.
Man.
Yeah, Headstock here is saying as long as you get paid, I guess. Yeah, well, I can't compare myself to Johnny because you play the clubs, I play the bars, and what we get paid is enough to pay for my gas and my beer. That's about it. So,
Mm-hmm.
you do it for the love of doing it, but it helps when you have a crowd, and it's so funny, like you were saying with the touring, right? it's so unpredictable. It's like, in my case, it's on the weekend. So weekend to weekend, like you can have an amazing gig and people are up on the tables just flipping out, and then you go play the next weekend somewhere else and you get a dud. It's just, yeah. Hey, Drittle, I hope I'm saying that name right. Welcome. And A64 T-Bird is in here as well. He's got a question. Johnny, why don't you just play music people want to hear, cover songs, and slide in an original?
It looks like that's what I'm doing at this next gig.
That's what it sounded like.
It's all covers and one original, but it's not my original.
Right.
But the guitar solo is my original, I guess.
Right. Mark Taft is here. Actually, there's a question for you. When you're doing originals, do you take time to learn, the chords and the progression and the arrangement? I imagine you'd stick to the original music, but with the soloing in that, do you sort of do what you like, or how do you approach that? Or do you try to play it note for note?
It really depends on if the solo or if the parts, it depends on if they're hooks. You know, you have to stick to the hooks of whatever it is. The part that everybody knows, or the part that's, if it's a big part of if it really makes, that part of the chorus or that part of whatever it is, you have to play that. And then as far as soloing, same thing. If it has a solo everybody knows, if everybody, hums the solo to a certain song, you got to stick to that. But if it's just a bunch of, if it's just shredding, you can pretty much just throw your own thing in there as long as you're in the same key.
Yeah. I do the same thing. I'll play the signature licks, and then all the other stuff. It's like whatever's, because I mean the amount of time it would take to learn. Like if you're doing, I don't know, like I do like 40 songs a night, right? So for me to learn note for note every solo for 40 songs is kind of ridiculous. So some you have to learn note for note, like you're saying, because they're, they have to be there. But then the other ones, I'll play the main parts, and then I just whatever comes in. And that and when you're doing a lot of covers, that's sort of where the fun comes for me, because that's where you get to be a little creative. It's when you come up, and just fly by the seat of your pants. So for me, that's the fun part, actually.
But if it's a solo that's like super, if it has a million notes and you're like, man, I can't learn this.
Yeah.
You know what you do? Here's 2 tricks. Here's 2 things you do.
You're going to say hit the wah pedal, right?
No, I don't use a wah.
I'm just teasing.
I don't use one, but no, what you do, here's one of 2 things you can do. You hit one note and you just bend that one note. Okay.
Right.
Just do like a bunch of vibrato on that one note. And plus, you want to be up there dancing around. You want to entertain, So you look like you're rocking out, bending that one note, Or you take it a step further and you, on purpose, you break a string, so you don't have to play that solo. So right when it gets to that part, and then you either switch to guitars and then the solo's already over with, or
and I tried. The string broke. I really tried.
And then when you get yelled at later, it's like, the string broke. It wasn't my fault,
man. That's funny. Mark Taft is here. Dwight Bailey is here. Welcome. Yeah, it's hey, there's Zach Thong, BB Made. Braxel is here.
Braxel.
Yeah. I got a lot of folks coming in. We got 66 people in here, Johnny. Half Ace is here. Welcome. Yeah, breaking the string. Yeah, it's
yeah. You guys know I'm just joking. I've never done any of that, but those are 2 tips. If you got to get out of playing Eruption, there's what you can do.
Here's a comment by Mitch Heyman. I guess we'll know by Thursday if Google Hangouts is really gone. Have you figured out a workaround on that yet?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I have, yeah. I've been trying to ditch Hangouts for a year.
Oh, all right.
I've been trying to get out of here. Ask Nesdal. Ask him. I've been telling them we got to lose Hangouts. because there's so much other stuff you can do that you can't do in Hangouts. So having Hangouts going away, it forces us to find something else, and I'm actually happy about it.
Oh,
But at the same time, Hangouts is so easy to use.
yeah.
It sucks, you know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm not exactly computer literate, so for me, this is like, even I can figure this out, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and I know that anything other than this is going to be, by definition, more complicated. It's not going to be as simple as, what we
There's
just did, right? So,
there's going to be a few extra buttons you got to push,
a few extra buttons, and there's going to be a learning curve involved, right?
and yeah, yeah. There's because with Google Hangouts there is no learning. I mean, you just hit basically one button and there you are.
Yeah, you just fly.
And the coolest thing about Hangouts to me is how it switches in between views. When
Yeah,
somebody talks, that's the coolest part. That's the part I'm going to miss
yeah,
because we once Hangouts goes away, unless there's something else that does that, none of us, you're not going to see that anymore. You're
well,
basically just going to see like everybody on the screen at one time.
right, right.
You know.
Or you'd have to basically be your own director and kind of click on people as they talk, which is going to distract the hell out of you.
Yeah. But that's what I do anyway. Like when we're live, I'm always running things behind the scenes as well because I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got basically 5 computers sitting here
Oh
that
my God.
I'm staring at.
Wow.
So,
Yeah.
you know,
So what are you going to? What is going to be, or are you going to go with Skype? There's all these. What's the other one? Shit.
shit.
Yeah, there's that one.
There's Skype and there's shit.
Yeah, there's Skype and shit. No,
Well, Skype is kind of.
there's one called Jitsu or something that Mitch Hamill
Mhm.
is playing with.
Yeah, Mitch. Mitch has been talking about that one.
Mitch has been playing around with a lot of them. All I know is I got to pick a lot of brains in order to figure out what is going to be the simplest way for me to navigate only using the one, because I've only got the one laptop and I've got a second monitor behind me with the chat so I can see it. But
Mhm.
that's I'm running bare bones, man. So hopefully there'll be
Mhm.
something that'll work with what I've got. Danny Alexander is here. What's up? Doc is in here. Okay, I'm seeing some talk about Ace Frehley, so I have to address that.
Who's that?
So I heard somebody. Dave R's guitars. It's Jitsi. It's called Jitsi. Jitsi does it too with the camera flipping thing.
Hmm.
Jitsi, and Mitch Heyman is saying, and StreamYard, just as easy. But
Mhm.
Jitsi switches views. So there's an alternative.
It flip flops.
Yeah, yeah, Jitsi flip flops. Yeah. Hey, Guitar It.
You guys don't vote for Jitsu, man. They'll flip
Mitch
flop on
Heyman
you.
is saying in capitals. They are so easy, you will not have a problem. Mitch Heyman, have we met? Oh, Krellbart, stop spreading rumors, buddy. He did not die. Hey, there's a dog punch. Gene invented Ace. Oh,
Yeah.
pointing everybody. Okay, all right. I'm not gonna. Gene invented arrogance. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, yeah. Everybody's dumping on Gene.
Oh, come on.
Come on, man. It's a demon. Yeah, yeah. I did a. I think I did a video a couple days ago. My favorite Ace Frehley licks,
Mhm.
and that was pretty cool. Everybody's got their, like, obviously your guy is Eddie Van Halen, but the guy that got me going was I'm a little older than you, was Ace Frehley back in the '70s. So I figured let me and it's funny because the guy that got you going, and the guy that you grew up listening to, it's funny how they sort of almost you know get into your DNA, and how you find yourself, like, either minutely or even more so always their playing always seems to come out a little bit in either how you bend or vibrato or licks or whatever. You know what I mean? Like you just can't separate yourself completely from it. So it's kind of
or that they can get into your personality as well.
oh Lord.
You know.
If that were the case, I'd be 3 sheets to the wind. Well, no, actually,
yeah. I mean, when you know when you're a kid and you got your favorite favorite movie star, rock star, whatever, people you look up to.
Yeah.
You kind of we all do it. We all copy, our favorite stuff, and then hopefully eventually, you turn into your own person and whatever. But it can be weird, meeting your favorite, rock star, whatever it is, and
Well, you've met a lot. Let me ask you, because I mean, I know you've met a lot of famous people. I mean, I don't know if you're willing to name any names, but was there anyone that you met that you were like, I can't wait to meet this person, and it was a real disappointment? It must have been someone.
I don't know. I mean, there's not really anybody that I really can't wait to meet, I guess. Although as far as being like a disappointment, yeah, I'm not gonna name any names, but yeah, there's been people where it's like, man, that guy seems really cool, or that person, and then you meet them, and maybe it's just on that day, where it's like, they weren't even, Well, one of my favorite personalities forever was Howard Stern,
Right.
and I waited 6 hours to meet Howard Stern. I waited in line. He did a book tour. This is back in 94, 95.
Okay. That's when his movie, is that when like the book that they based the movie on? When did that movie come out?
The movie came out in like 96 or 97.
Okay. Anyway, sorry, go ahead.
Which book was it? It was either,
trying to think of the name of the
book. It was Miss America. It was
okay.
It wasn't Private Parts was already out.
Private Parts.
Was there a Miss America book too?
Yeah, that rings a bell. But the movie, I think, was Private Parts, wasn't it?
The movie was yeah, maybe. I don't remember.
Anybody knows the name of Howard Stern's movie?
But yeah, but I remember waiting in line for 6 hours to see him, and finally I get up to him. He doesn't even look at me. He just signs the book. He's like, enjoy the book. And then that's it. That was it, And I walked out of there being like, well, that was really cool because I got to at least, see Howard. But he didn't look at me at all,
Had he been sitting there a long time signing books? Maybe he's fed up.
Well, I waited in line 6 hours to see him. This was at the Virgin Mega Store, which is no longer there in San Francisco.
Right.
But also that happened to be on the same day that Sammy Hagar got married, which is only like half an hour away from there. And I knew the guy. I was friends with this dude who owned this record store called Village Music, and it was like the best record store on the planet. Like everybody would shop there. Elvis Costello, Huey Lewis, Santana, they all would shop at this record store. Sammy would shop there, And I remember walking into that store like the next week or whatever, and the guy was like, "Hey, you should have been here. Sammy Hagar got married next door." The whole it was limousines down the street.
Oh,
Van Halen was here, everything. And I was in line, waiting to meet Howard that entire time. And
had I known,
you know.
So I'm just gonna give you a little bit. It's 7:56, which means I know your show's going on soon. So I don't want to keep you. I just wanted to thank everyone so much for tuning in. And I do this speech every show, Johnny. We got a fantastic community here. Let's all support each other. Let's all keep this awesome community growing. I want to thank you all so much. If you're not subbed to my channel, please sub to my channel. If you're not subbed to Johnny's, I'm sure all of you are, but if you're not subbed to Johnny's second channel, it's up in the cards. So check that out as well. If you want to help with my channel, I've got links below. I've got merch and I've got a PayPal, so that would be very much appreciated. And yeah, I don't want to keep it, Johnny. I want to thank Johnny so much for coming on. This was awesome. We've been trying
Thank you.
for the last couple of weeks, so it's good that we finally managed to you know, to link up.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah.
It's been a while. I mean, I know I've been on here twice before.
Yeah, I'm trying. You know what? Before you, I was trying to remember when the last time you were on. Is it? It may have been not a year, maybe like almost close, maybe 8-10 months or something.
It's yeah, something like that. Because
So
the last time I was on was the last time or the other time. That's when I got this
yeah, the
guitar,
cab,
the guitar moire. Somebody
yeah,
named it the guitar moire,
guitar more. Well, it works.
and I remember if I had that back there. So yes.
Yeah, yeah. All right. Was there anything you wanted to say to the folks before we cash out here, Johnny?
Oh, great talking to you, man. And everybody, thanks for tuning in. Make sure to subscribe, click that bell, leave a thumbs up,
Yeah, leave a thumbs up. Much appreciated. Yeah.
and if you want to see what's in that box, I'll be opening that box in the next few minutes, possibly over on my channel. So
if you want to see what's behind curtain number 3,
if anybody has a wrench, there you go. There you go. Thank you, Ben. There's the link to where I'll be in a few minutes.
all right.
So yeah, and we can't wait to see what's in that box, man. That's
Oh, you don't know? Is it a surprise?
Come
on. You know what's in.
I do know what's in there.
There you go.
But nobody else does, and so it'll still be a surprise.
It'll be a surprise. Okay.
And who knows? Maybe what's supposed to be in there isn't even in there, so it still could be a surprise.
It could be an empty box.
I don't know if it's even standing the right side up either. All the blood could have rushed to its head, you know, and
There's no this end up on there, right? Oh shit. All right, folks. I want to thank again, Johnny. I want to thank all of you folks for popping in. You guys absolutely rock. I will see you all on Thursday at 8 o'clock on my regular show. So check that out, Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern. Johnny, thanks so much. And
thank you, man.
yeah, we'll see you all soon. Cheers, everybody.